Well, Paul and Andy, it's great to have you back at the table. Now, I understand you guys have something of a very different nature lined up this time, something very special.
I think this is an interesting one. This is sort of a different jumping off point for us than usual. This is not an area where there's necessarily been a recent strange phenomenon. It's more sort of a long history of it.
Okay.
Right? We're interested in visiting this place called Rock Art Ranch. In Arizona.
I'm very familiar with Rock Art Ranch.
So then you know it has really one of the largest sort of privately held petroglyph sites in the country and maybe in the world.
Rock Art Ranch is a private cattle ranch in northern Arizona, where it's home to thousands of ancient Native American petroglyphs. The petroglyphs on the ranch are carvings on the rock's surface made by indigenous people who lived in the area. For these Native Americans, petroglyphs were a sacred form of documentation used to communicate details of their lives for over 13,000 years. For the past 5 years, the team at Skinwalker has been investigating the petroglyphs on their ranch.
What I'm looking at is these curves. It's a metaphor for a serpent or a snake. Snakes represents two different worlds. So it's a guardian to the portals.
Veteran Navajo Ranger John Dover also analyzed the petroglyphs surrounding Skinwalker Ranch.
The spiral seems to be universal. This spiral could refer to some kind of a portal.
This spiral symbol in the petroglyphs is also seen in an ancient stone circle on top of the Skinwalker Mesa.
We have basically a spiral right here that's been put into this ground here.
Now, Andy and Paul plan to join up with John Dover to investigate Rock Art Ranch, one of the largest petroglyph sites in the country, to dive much deeper into the phenomena surrounding these ancient carvings.
I'm so excited to be back in northern Arizona on the edges of Navajo Nation. Look at just how vast it is. It feels like we're in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I mean, this speaks to exactly how preserved this location must be. Right. I mean, there's no sign of civilization anywhere near where we're going.
Yeah.
Ancient people habitated here. I mean, they came here, they built a life here, they left a history here, and that's what we're here to explore.
What we know about this place is that it has thousands of petroglyphs. And as many as have been discovered, there are maybe many more.
Yeah.
Compare that with Skinwalker, which has a few petroglyphs. This place is potentially a wealth of information and energy and stories and history that really we've never experienced.
The petroglyphs at Skinwalker Ranch seem to suggest that there might be some kind of interdimensional portal around that area. So the question for us is really, can we identify any of the same anomalous activity here around the petroglyph sites at this location? This is exciting.
There's John.
Mr. John.
Always great to see him.
How's it going?
Good to see you again, man.
Yeah, really good to see you.
Hey, John, how are you, sir?
Doing great. We've got some really interesting things to show you today.
You've been able to actually research the petroglyphs at Skinwalker Ranch. What is it about these petroglyphs here that you think are noteworthy?
Well, we're seeing the same symbols, but on a much larger scale. Skinwalker Ranch just has a few petroglyphs. This place is just going to blow your mind.
Wow. John, do you know, has there ever been any kind of investigation out here? I mean, aside from people just looking at them and, you know, there's been a lot of sort of research about petroglyphs and what they might mean, but actual investigation and experiments performed out here?
There have been none. So you're going to be the first guys to put instruments on this.
Great.
That's awesome.
This is a clean slate.
Yeah.
You know, it's uncharted territory for us to be the first to do this.
Absolutely. I'm excited to get out there.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Andy and Paul head down into the canyon with John and Art to see if the ceremony around the petroglyph-covered walls will produce similar results. Art will perform an ancient medicine man ceremony where he will invoke sacred prayers designed to open a portal.
You definitely can feel the heaviness within the canyon, and as far as what may have happened here with the ancestors.
This corner is just filled with, look, there's the spiral that we've seen so many times.
And here too, I mean, the spirals are
portal
everywhere.
or vortex.
The spirals are everywhere in this section.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's multiple of them up here. There's etchings here, and they're old, Paul. Look how faded they are. I mean, what an incredible place to set up this experiment for tonight.
Yeah.
The ceremony that you're going to be executing essentially you become the center point of concentration. Am I
Right.
understanding that correctly?
Yeah, no, that you're right on point with that, Andy. We want to concentrate all of the energy. We want to bring that here as much as we can anyway.
Let's get started.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we've got recording on this FLIR,
Yeah,
recording on this FLIR. UFO DAPs are live, satellite tracker is live, and our spectrum analyzer is live.
Okay. Andy, right off the bat.
I mean, it's 10 o'clock at night, Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
How is this happening?
There's heat from within these.
We have another section of the canyon where there's this strong heat signature in the seam, and the actual petroglyphs around it are those spiraling etchings that we're coming to wonder if they have some connection to interdimensional portals. That maybe by itself isn't enough, but when combined, when focused with some sort of catalyst, who knows what's possible? That was interesting
That was
too.
a quick one.
Let's see what that was.
Seemed to be in the upper left corner.
Right there, you see it? I don't see a wing motion. I don't see a flapping.
I don't know what that is.
It looks like it comes out of nowhere, Paul. Watch. We've got a solid 2 seconds of empty space, and then watch right around here.
Okay.
See how it just seems to appear?
Yeah. Some strange movement.
You know what else is interesting is this UFO DAP hit coincided with when Art blew the recorder.
With the end of that part of the ceremony.
Right.
Hey guys,
We just had an experience over here
just now?
just now. I heard voices down from the canyon over here, down further.
I could sense that there's something here.
What were you guys hearing?
A continuous but intermittent sounds like rocks hitting the ground behind the brush.
Like something moving? That's
Something
Like something
large.
moving, yeah,
like disturbing the rocks.
right.
I didn't hear anything like that. So whatever you heard was somehow very localized.
Yeah.
That's really wild. Okay, so first of all, that was interesting.
Oh, look at
Does
that.
it slow down and speed
Yeah,
up?
that was.
That's weird.
Here's the frame by frame.
It's similar to what we saw up at the settlement site.
And it also has the change in direction and the change in speed.
The acceleration.
It looks like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing on the FAA tracker.
I mean, Paul, that's a UAP. That's
Yeah.
absolutely unidentified.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Changing direction.
Did that
again.
change direction
Oh, yeah.
on us? Wow.
Completely different direction than previously.
Something's going on here.
So we have one UFO DAP that's up on the cliff edge, and then we have one that's here. And this is the one that's down here in the valley with us. So all these hits that we've been seeing of whatever this is,
Are right here.
this is down in the canyon. This isn't at altitude. It is fascinating to me, Paul, that the multiple sightings that we've seen of this tonight, but they've been happening multiple times since the four of us have been standing here at the base camp. Whatever the phenomenon is right now, it does seem to be hovering around Art.
In my ceremony, that's what I requested, was like, show yourself. Goes back to what I just said, you know, sometimes we manifest things, and then if you're looking for evidence, Andy, I present it to you, sir.
This was a fantastic night, absolutely a success on multiple fronts.